Hello, dear friends. I don't know how to call this video other than tips for saving energy in your house, right? Maybe that's a good name. I don't know. I have to take a look at it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the insulation of your property, right? We are underneath my house. This is a walking crawl space. I don't know, let's call it like that. I mean, they start digging and damaging all the columns and things like that at the house, and now I'm gonna have to fix that stuff and have to fix all the deficiencies. You see all those massive timbers there, but but anyway, it's my house and I want to fix it really well, right? So I've been reinforcing, doing a lot of things, and among those is installing the insulation. So what is insulation? Insulation is what is going to help you to maintain your house or your property or structure or the building nice and warm or cold depending on the season, right? And the insulation that I'm using is this one. It's a fiberglass insulation. But although you can find cellulose, you can find foam, you can find sprayable materials that are gonna help to maintain or give that insulation into the property, right? So this one is called R30, and it has a paper or faced surface. This is because you want to add a little bit of moisture retention with this, prevention to your house in case you have a lot of humidity, like in this case, right? So let me just go over a little bit of insulation so you have an idea of what is the stuff that I'm talking about, right? So the insulation is designed in these cases as a non-hazardous material, so it's not as bad as asbestos. It's just itchy. It's very itchy. So you want to use like long sleeves materials, masks, goggles, and gloves to be able to handle this in a long scale. Now I just finished a while ago. The particles dispersed already, so I'm just kind of showing you this thing, right? So that it looks like how can I say, like cotton candy, right? You don't want to eat it. You don't want to eat it. But the material itself comes in different thicknesses, right? And that's the R value that a lot of them you're gonna see this huge letter R with a number after that stuff, and the number meaning the thickness of the stuff. So we're gonna go with like R13 is designed for 2x4s, right? The thickness of it fits into a 2x4. Then you have R15 that is a little thicker, but it fits into a 2x4. Then you have R19 that is designed for like 2x6s, and then R30 that is designed for like 2x10s, 2x12s and stuff. That's the thickest, and probably in places where it's extremely hot or extremely cold, you're gonna find something that is thicker, right? Or you can double it up or whatever, right? As your choice. I did that in my attic. I used R30 twice, and I just crushed it. So I have another retention because it was really hot before I put some vents on the roof, and it's really cold in the winter because a lot of air comes through. So you want to make sure that you protect your thing. Imagine like if you have a thermal cup that you put your coffee there, it's going to last for a long time because you're going to retain the heat, right? It's the same thing. If you put it in a cold glass, it's going to just disperse the temperature. Is going to get cold or really hot really quick because nothing is holding the temperature, right? That's what we're doing over here, and that's what I'm doing in my house. Because this house back in the days, 130-year-old house, back in the days, they used to put a lot of coal, a lot of natural gas or whatever through the systems that they had, but they were not, being conservative enough in the energy cost, because they didn't have the material back in the days. Granted, they didn't have the materials, so they didn't know how to protect that stuff. And now we are able to, protect my entire house with this thing. I'm using R30, and the face that you see here is designed for you to put it right against the surface on the inside of the house. That means that if you have a wall, you want to face that stuff right there, and this is going to be on the exterior part of the house. If you have a ceiling, it's going to be like that, and this is going to be in the ceiling, right against the drywall, right? The same thing. And on the floor, you want it like that. So that's why when I'm installing it right now, I'm installing it this way, right? So to hold that stuff, you're going to use these little insulation supports. Now this house is a mess because it has so many different sizes in between the beams, right? So you have like 17, 18, 19, 15 and a half. I mean, it was just a mess, right? So whoever was doing this thing, I'm trying to kind of have an idea, and they just, build it as they consider. I don't know. Anyway, but so what you're gonna do is you're gonna use these things. If you have like 24 in between, then you buy the 24-inch, which is a box that I have over here. and it's awesome. You have the 24, you can put it beautiful. Not in my case, but I needed something that is longer than a 16 in center, right? So I had to buy this thing with a grinder, cut it about 3/4 of an inch longer than the width that you're gonna put it. So if I had 17, from like one wall to the other wall of the beam, then I cut it like 17 3/4, so I can put it over there, and it's gonna have a little bit of pressure. It's gonna have a little bit of pressure to hold it, right? That's an important concept that you need to remember. But another important thing that you need to remember also is how to control the humidity on your crawl space or your basement. If you have a lot of walls that are coming with a lot of humidity, right, they're maintaining wet, or you have a lot of water that is residing, you need to get rid of that water either through a sump pump, or you want to use a dehumidifier to take all that humidity out, because that's going to proliferate the termites, which is a problem that I had before over here when I purchased this house, and or mold, right? Mold is going to grow because you have that stuff over there, and that's important, right? So you want to control those things, and for that you put a moisture barrier, or if you have like a finished basement or a concrete floor, and then you're going to put a dehumidifier so you can actually maintain that stuff. Or you can actually ask your mechanic, or you can probably do it yourself, and you put a return line and a feeding line, a supply line of air conditioning. So you close the vents in your basement or crawl space. You close see I have this vent over there, this little vent all the way in my wall over there, and I'm going to close those things, and I'm going to condition this once I put the central HVAC system, because now I can control the temperature inside my crawl space that at the end, believe it or not, I'm going to turn it into a full basement. So I have to dig out, I don't know, 60-70 tons and change all the structure of the house, whatever, because anyway, they messed it up, to begin with. So it's going to be a nice project. But anyway, you can actually control that stuff, right? It save a lot of money, save a lot of frustration, and just as a bonus, it actually helps with noise reduction. It's a soundproof material as well. So when you walk, you're not going to feel these hollow things, right? In fact, you don't hear any echo over here because the tin is kind of helping to absorb all the vibration. So it's really good. That's what I want to leave you with. A really important, really important information that can help you save a lot of money, save a lot of effort around your house, and that's it. I wanted to, trust me that I made this video a few times, and like, how can I present this in the right way? I may throw some little clips that I have around, but that's the best information that I can give you. Something that you can actually remember, that is practical, that you can do. Obviously, protect your eyes. Use a nice utility knife with nice blades, a nice surface where you can actually cut the material, because it comes, and these big bats come in at 48 inches. So you're gonna have to sometimes cut, if it's like 23 inches wide, or 22 and a half, you have to cut it sometimes a little bit. So you want to make sure that you have something that is 48 inches long on top of a board that is not gonna dull your blade, and you're gonna cut it nice and straight, and then you have a nice cut, and you can install it really well, and then put your little supports, insulation supports, and that's it. Now, obviously, once you finish with this thing, obviously use long sleeve material, something, jackets, masks, goggles. And if you take a shower, don't take a really hot shower. Just take a warm shower. And in my case right now, we're like 25 degrees right now, so it's getting really cold. My hands are freezing. But take a warm shower, nothing crazy. Take all this out. Make sure that you wash your clothes separately, so you don't have all that insulation in the rest of the clothes, the baby's clothes, your wife's clothes. You don't want that stuff. Girlfriend's clothes, you don't want that. But anyway, just shake all this out as much as possible. Wash it separately, and that's it. So I hope this information will help you to understand how you can actually protect your house, save a lot of energy, and live a nice, happily ever after, right? So subscribe, hit that little notification bell, and I'll see you in the next videos. See you soon. Bye-bye.